Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Hardwood Nation podcast with your boy CL Anthony and my main man number 2, Kevin Carter. What's going on, Kevin?
Nothing much. I'm considering I haven't even done my own show. I consider myself a free agent, so I just
that was a good one. That was a good one.
that's a good segue into what we're going to be talking about.
It really is. You know what I'm saying? So, as I usually say with Bryce, Kevin, we got some shit to get into.
We do.
This is a new season for the Hardwood Nation. Of course, it's technically the new NBA season, and we had a lot of player movement this year. Mostly mid-level to low-level players, but we did have a couple of big names move around. What's the most shocking move that you saw so far?
It's really nothing has really stood out to me and shocked me. What has shocked me is that the Lakers are able to pay all these dudes all this money and still be no one said anything about their cap hit or their luxury tax numbers or anything like that, and they're paying everybody.
Yeah, the Lakers are making some moves. They're getting extremely deep and bigger, and I'm liking the moves that the Lakers are making. Actually, I was actually shocked, and this was a low level move, but I was actually shocked that Derrick Rose signed with the Grizzlies. I thought when he was cut by the Knicks when they weren't going to re-sign him, I thought he was done. I don't believe he's going to.
He wanted to go and start Guns N' Roses. That's exactly why he did it.
That was a great meme, by the way. That was a great meme. So the first night of free agency, I didn't talk much. I was getting some text messages from people, and they were trying to get my opinion on certain things. And I wasn't going to say anything. I was just, being a sponge and absorbing everything that was going on. We're going to get into the heat a little later, more in depth, but I do want to mention something as far as Josh Richardson coming back home. I like the move to add to our bench depth because we have lost Matt Strus and Gabe Vincent, which we kind of knew was going to happen. So, particularly Gabe, God, I love Gabe. Absolutely love Gabe, man. And Strus, so what are your final?
My thing with both of them is, look, I like both of them. Like I always liked both of them, but we can't pay these guys this big gigantic money when one, we're strapped up against the cap and we're up against these tax walls and everything else. But when they play well, we done really, really good. When they play bad, i.e. watching them in the finals, that's the kind of stuff that you get out of these guys. You get the inconsistency and you've got all of this stuff. And as much as we like these guys and as much as they helped develop us and put us into the places where we went, they also put you into places where you didn't want to go when they come and they hit all these walls and they hit these struggles. And that was like why seeing them go was a bad thing. It was like, it doesn't really kill you. But what it does do is it shows that the culture in Miami can create guys that go from not even being drafted and then get some paid. Look at Cody Zeller. He freaking we went and got him from the Walmart greeting position, brought him in, let him play a few games. He played okay, and now he's got a contract to go somewhere else. Like it's just you come through the Miami car wash and you come out clean and you go and get paid.
Yeah. And how do you feel about Josh Richardson coming back after he was a part of the Jimmy Butler trade, which was a great trade, by the way. But how do you feel about Josh coming back after 4 years?
I like the move. He's going to provide us, depending on what all goes on from here, because we don't know what's going to happen. Really, in the next few days, we don't know what we don't know what fireworks are going to be shut off. Shout out to the 4th of July weekend. We don't know what fireworks are going to come here pretty soon as far as the heat goes, so which we'll talk about later on in the show. But yeah, him coming back, he's going to be a nice addition coming off the bench where we're going
Yeah,
to need him, maybe even starting. We don't know. So yeah, I like the move for him coming back.
absolutely. I know a lot of people were speculating on Kyrie Irving, and he was flirting with Phoenix. I never believed that was going to happen. So Kyrie re-signed with the Mavericks, which was the best the best move for him to make. Dallas was going to give him the most money. It just didn't make sense for him to leave Dallas at this point.
Nah, Kyrie wanted the money. Kyrie don't want nothing right now except to get paid, and they were the only people that were going to be able to pay. It was as simple as
Right,
that.
right. And then of course, the Lakers, like you said, they made some signings, adding depth to that bench. But I want to ask you about the Orlando Magic as a little needle, of course, to Cortez and Bryce. Was it just me, or was Magic Nation like doing backflips over Joe Ingles? I'm like, what the fuck do they expect out of him? I don't understand why they were so hyped about it.
They're just happy. They're glad they got a veteran that can shoot and is going to be able to mentor some of their younger guys. What kills me with the Magic right now is, remember years ago they had a power forward problem where they had 1,232 power forwards. Now you've got 792 point guards and guards on your team. Where are all these guys going to play?
Yeah, I don't know. And look, and then we have the Knicks with their Villanova reunion. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
It's crazy the way they're like, let's put all these guys together that have played together before and see if we can recreate it in there. No, you're New York Knicks. You're not going to recreate the Villanova thing there. Just get over it. They're not coming back. Yeah.
Look, Tills better watch out because Jay Wright might be the coach next.
They gonna
Tills better be careful.
They're gonna be like, who else can we go get? Let's go get the coach. Oh, okay, yeah.
I go get the coach. Couple of more signings, of course. My boy Russell Westbrook re-up with the Sixers. I'm sorry, Lord, the Clippers. Lord,
the Clippers.
Re-up with the Clippers. Yeah, that wasn't surprising to me. But there are a couple of young guys who got some big deals thanks to the TV contract. Like Sabonis got $217 million over 5 years. Tyrese Halliburton got $260 million from the Indiana Pacers over 5 years. I'm like, good God. But the one that made absolutely no sense to me, and I don't know if you heard about this, Desmond Bane got a 5-year contract at $207 million. What the fuck is Memphis thinking?
Popeye arms. They gave him how much he could bench with one arm. Yeah.
I was like, Desmond Bane? Like, what?
Dude, the thing is, the more and more we go along, the more and more these mid-range guys are going to get paid these huge amount of money just because they got it to give away, and teams are going to have to keep people, and they're going to have to overspend just to keep people. But damn, I'm going back outside and working on my jump shot now with how some of these people are getting paid.
Yeah, Desmond Bane, $207 million. That is ridiculous because I believe he's going to be paid more than Ja. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, he is.
So, James Harden asked out of Philly. He asked out of Houston. Well, even before that, he asked out of OKC. Now he's asking out of Philly. How serious do you think James Harden is about winning the championship?
Right now, I think James realizes, look, I only got this much time left. I need to go to somewhere that I am going to be able to, one, not have to be the main guy, because we all know when James Harden's the main guy, nothing goes well. And he wants to go somewhere where he's not the main guy, and he has that he's comfortable there. So they got to find him a place for him to go if they think because he's right now. This is, I need to win a championship or bust, because he's up there in age. His game has completely deteriorated from what it is, and you can argue with me all you want to about it, but you can see it last year. He'll have them glimpses, but as far as his consistency and everything, it's all gone downhill. Everything is he's on the back end. So he has to go somewhere now where he can contribute the way he can contribute, and needs to go to somewhere with a championship, where they're just missing that one little piece to get into the championship.
Well, Houston's not it.
Oh, no. God, no. God, no.
I will say that. Houston's, and they made a couple of moves. I like the move for Van Fleet, being reunited again. No, Nick Nurse is in Philly. I don't know why I keep thinking Nick Nurse is in Houston. Ime is in Houston. And then, Houston signed Dylan Brooks. So, are they a contender? No. Could they be a playoff team or a play-in team? Absolutely. But I don't think Houston is the spot that James Harden needs to be at. I think he needs to stay in Philly if he wants a shot at winning this thing. And I wonder how Joel Embiid feels about Harden going out.
No,
because you got
we know Philly's going to do Philly things. Philly's quote me. Philly is not going to win a championship in basketball. They're just not, because that's what they do, and there's teams that are better around them. They're not going to win a game they're not going to win a championship in basketball if their main center point is Joel Embiid. They're not going to. Point blank, bar none. If he is your center point, he wasn't even a goddamn MVP of the league, and you still gave it to him. But if he is your center point, you're not going to win a championship with him. No ifs, no ands, no coconuts, no buts. The only way you're going to win something with him is if you all of a sudden you can get Jimmy Butler to come back, and you could pair him up with somebody else with Jimmy. That's it. When you let Jimmy go, you screwed it up. When you let Jimmy go, you screwed it all up. Because if you would have kept Jimmy there, y'all would have already won one. You would have already won one if you would have kept him there. But you didn't.
Yeah.
And that was where you screwed it up. So I don't trust none of your damn processes.
I agree with you 100% on the Jimmy Butler. Yeah, that Tobias Harris over me. God damn it. They're
not going to win anything there. They're just not. Because everybody else around them are better than they are. The Celtics, the Bucks, the Heat, still. Everybody else around them is better than they are.
Speaking of the Bucks, I'm surprised they're going to give it one more shot at this thing. They re-signed Chris Middleton. They re-signed Brook Lopez. Drew Holiday is going to be a free agent in the offseason. The Bucks are old. They re-signed Jay Crowder, which was shocking. How impactful do you think the Bucks are going to be next season? Do you think it's the end of the road for them? Because they're doing nothing but getting older. Go ahead.
This is their last run. This is it. This is the final deer in the headlight run for them. This is it. They've got to. This is the year. If they're going to win another one, they got to go this year, because next year it's going to be one of those things where Giannis is going to get fed up with being on a team with all these old guys, and he's going to be like, "Look, because next year's going to be the year all attention focuses to Giannis wanting to trade."
Right.
I can already see it coming. Yeah, I can already see it coming. Next year is going to be the year where everything goes to focus on Giannis is going to want out of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But this is their last. Yeah, this is their last hurrah with the group that they got right now.
Well, Well, look, I'll say this. You mentioned deer in headlights. You know, they're always deer in headlights when they play Miami. So they better hope that next year they don't
Oh,
see the
always.
Miami Heat. Let me just say that because we shit on them every time. Okay. So speaking of the Heat, I really wish Bryce was on here for this because Damian Lillard is both of our favorite players, and we've been very critical of Dame over the last few years. Um, but something started brewing about a month ago. You know, Dame was kind of whispering sweet nothings to the Heat. The Heat kind of whispering back a little bit while we were going through our finals run. How shocked were you that Dame finally asked out of Portland?
No, I'm not shocked. I wasn't shocked as soon as they made that draft pick. I was like, he's out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, as soon as that pick was made by them, I said, he's out. If they would have traded it and got somebody to help him, cool. He would have stayed. But as soon as they made that number 3 pick, I was like, yeah, he's done. I was like, he's gonna say the right things just to get Grant paid, and then he's gonna say, I'm on out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there are going to be repercussions from this move. Really quick breaking news, kind of. Corey Joseph just resigned. Well, I'm off today. Forgive me. Corey Joseph signed with the Golden State Warriors, so it's not a bad move. Not a bad move for them. Because they need some depth. Not since they got rid of Jordan Poole. Lord, I still can't believe they got rid of Jordan Poole.
They knocked him right out of there. Oh, sorry.
They just that kid, yeah. Look, how can we forget to mention Draymond Green's back in Golden State? But we knew that as soon as they moved Poole. It was like, yep, Draymond's back.
Oh, as soon as they punch Jordan Poole's ticket out, we knew Draymond was coming right back in.
Right. Draymond's gonna be back, yeah. And speaking of
because you know Draymond's a hit in the locker room. So yeah.
Yeah, look, you mentioned one last run. This might be it for Golden State too. This next season. This
is their one last run too, because they're getting old. Even though mm-hmm. everybody still thinks they're young and everything else, Golden State's getting young, older too, and you can see it. This is a lot of teams' last punch at things. It's a lot of teams. Mm-hmm. A lot of teams' last run at stuff, including us.
Oh yeah, that's why we're making the move that we're making, and I will say that the framework of the deal is already in place. So we're gonna dig a little deeper into that later. All right, so Dame asked out. Of course, let me start by saying this: their GM's only been there a little over a year. Okay, he's a young dude. Damian Lillard is one of the nicest guys we've ever seen in the NBA. Has been nothing but a great citizen, great player, gave Portland everything he had, should have left 5 years ago and stayed there because he was fucking loyal. Okay. Mm-hmm. When everybody was shouting, leave, leave, leave. So like you said, they drafted Scoop, which I like Scoop. I'm just throwing that out there. I like him. But Damian got his friend paid and then requested a trade, for the next day after some other moves have been made, which is important. Okay. So Portland's GM pissed me the fuck off, and I'm just going to be raw and real about it. When he released a statement, I don't know how clearly you can see it on the screen, but I will read this. So after Damian made his trade request, the GM, Joe Cronin, issued this statement. We have been clear that we want Dame here, but he notified us today that he wants out and he preferred to play somewhere else. What has not changed for us is that we're committed to winning and we're going to do what's best for the team in pursuit of that goal. Here's the deal.
Hold up. Where was this big dick energy that you're coming off saying this shit when you should have done it for Dame? You should have went out there and you should have busted your ass to get people to come and play with him. Instead, you trade CJ McCollum for trash, and then you don't do anything to help the guy that stayed around and was your franchise. So don't start with this, we're trying to win and we're trying that bullshit. Because if you were trying to, you would have done it when your superstar was there and when he told you he was going to stay, and you didn't do anything. I wish all you people that are bitching that he wants to go to Miami had that same shit, and you were bitching when they didn't do anything to help him.
It is absolute bullshit. Like you said, big dick energy that this dude came out and did this shit. Because one, Dame has been respectful the entire time to the Portland Trailblazers. So for them to come out and try to win this bullshit PR battle, I can't fuck with that. Okay, I cannot fuck with that. Now, with that said, the Heat have made some interesting moves that would indicate that they might be clearing some cap space to absorb Dame's contract. So, I know there's been talks made. Like I say, him and Jimmy have been, sharing sweet nothings. Him
and Bam.
Yeah, he professed his love for Bam. Okay, so he has his eyes on Miami. So two things. One, there's probably going to be a tampering investigation, but we know how that goes. But for the national media to come out and say, oh, well, these other teams can get involved, those other teams are not going to get involved. And this is why I say that. Dame has made clear that he wants Miami. Miami has made moves to say, hey, we want you. Jimmy Butler has told the Heat, do what you have to do to get Dame. It's going to happen. Because if anyone else tries to get into this, Dame's going to be like, I'm not playing for y'all.
No.
I truly believe he would sit out.
Yeah, you can trade me all you want to. That don't mean I gotta play there. That don't mean that I'm going to be happy and I'm all of a sudden going to have a back injury.
Right.
My knee hurts. Like what he did, what the GM did when he did all that stuff is the rest of the league went, well, we already know where he wants to go play. We're not going to make you an offer. The only way another team is going to get involved is to move Tyler Hero to him. That's it.
Right.
That's the only way another team's going to get involved because they're going to get Tyler Hero because for some reason they don't want Tyler Hero.
Which is stupid because if you know basketball, you need a player like Tyler Hero.
Which is it's dumb.
It is, especially on a rebuilding team like that. Tyler could be a great asset. So, there will be a tampering investigation. There will be, but for Portland to come out and say, because they also said we're not just talking to Heat, to the Heat. We're open to everyone. That's a slap in the face to me to Dame. Because for the loyalty that he showed that franchise for all these years, if he says, this is where I want to go, you make it happen. So they're shitting on him. And the fans are already turning against the fans want Dame to leave because they want him to be successful. So this PR battle that the Blazers think they're winning, they're not. Because the fans want what's best for Dame.
What kills me is people now who had Dame's back and everything because he wants to go to Miami are now all of a sudden, nah, Portland needs to do what's right for Portland. They don't need to be doing all that shit. All of a sudden because he wants to go to Miami. I'm like, good Lord, you people have got a heart up for the Heat. If what all y'all said we did last year was a fluke, then why wouldn't we want to get better to make that fluke become a reality again next year? Even though we were the number one seed the year before, I guess that was a fluke too. Yeah. I guess that was just a fluke.
The bubble was a fluke.
Yeah, I guess the last 4 or 5 years of Miami Heat basketball, we can just sum it up as fluke. So we're going to say, okay, fluke. Then why wouldn't we want to go and get somebody that's going to make it when we do it again, not a fluke? Like, you guys make no sense to me. All of a sudden now you don't want him to go anywhere because of where he wants to go. I'm like, come on, fellas, y'all gotta get our name out your mouth. Like, worry about your own stuff. Like it's like
So,
a lot of teams and a lot of fan bases got little brother syndrome.
mhm.
And I'm like, yeah, worry about yourselves, man. I ain't worried about. Good for y'all. Everybody's starting to get better and get more people and blah 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 and all that crap. And good for y'all. I ain't worried about nothing except what happens with my team. Because here's the thing: you
Yeah.
still have to go and beat them. Just
It, it,
beat them, and you can beat them and shut it up the right way.
it's a marriage made in heaven if the basketball gods deliver Dame to the Miami Heat.
If Dame goes to
If this
Miami,
happens,
if Dame goes to Miami, it's what I've been screaming that Miami needed this whole entire time. And what did I say all during the playoffs? You got to have that guy who is going to go and get his own shot. That's why
yeah,
when Tyler went down, I was like, I hope he comes back because he's the one guy that can go and get his own shot. All of our other guys, where they played very well and everything, guess what they couldn't do? They couldn't go and get their own shot. And we needed that guy. And now, if you bring him in, you have that guy, along with everybody
oh,
else that plays defense.
if he stays healthy, if he stays healthy, the Miami Heat should be the number one contender in the Eastern Conference. Like, just period.
Even if he,
If he,
even 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 if he don't stay healthy and he comes in when the playoffs come around and they make it in as a 3 or 4 seed, they'll be fine.
yeah,
We've
yeah,
already seen what they do when they're healthy. It's just
right,
you got to be healthy come playoff time. We've had too many guys go. We made a run with guys that we were going to be relying on getting hurt.
yeah.
All you have to
It,
do is have that health when it comes playoff time. If we had healthy guys in the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals, if we had them in the finals, it would have been a different story. But it's just you got to get lucky and you've got to have that help.
yeah. Dame coming to Miami will be monumental. It just will be, and
It'll
it's
be
going to
fun.
send shockwaves. Yeah, it's going to send shockwaves to the Eastern Conference because the Bucks, Boston, Philly, they can't do anything with Damian Lillard. Nothing.
No, they don't.
Okay,
They don't have nobody that can guard him.
nothing. And
They don't have
then look,
nobody,
Jimmy.
and he adds a completely different level. What he does is
Mm,
he not only is he the guy that goes and gets his own shot that you got to worry about. He's also the guy that's going to make the space for everybody else to do what they're
right.
going to want to do. Here's the things that need to happen when Dame gets there. If Dame gets to Miami, the things that need to happen is Bam needs to become more aggressive. He needs to learn. He needs to go, okay, Jimmy's getting up there in age. I know they're going to be using Jimmy. They're going to be load managing Jimmy a lot
Yeah.
this year just because of his age and just the way he plays basketball. Bam has to become more of an aggressive player. If he would have done it in he was aggressive to a point in the finals, but if he would become a more aggressive, he could have had 30 something points a game because Jokic wasn't going to keep up with him athletically. He was only
Right.
going to keep up with him via smarts. He was never going to be able to keep up with him athletically. But that's the one big thing I want to see going into next season is Bam take that other step, the step up, not from shooting 3-pointers and everything, but just becoming a more of aggressive basketball player. Take that free throw line jump shot a little more. Take it to the basket when you know you got a slower guy guarding you. Just do the things that when they switch and you got a smaller guy on you, don't turn around and shoot a jump shot. Take it on him and dunk on his little ass. Just do those kinds of things. And with Dame there, it'll be able to open up more areas for these guys to be able to get going.
Mhm, mhm. So here's the framework of the deal. And there's another name I'm going to throw out at you that's pretty exciting, but like you said, they're going to look for a third team. So this person may go to the third team, but if he comes to Miami, my God, because Nurkic is involved in this deal as well. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Tyler Hero is beginning to scrub the Miami Heat from his Twitter feed. so we know he knows what's going on. Kyle Lowry. The Heat are trying to maintain Caleb Martin, and I hope they're able to do it because Dame has made it clear he wants Caleb there in Miami. So hopefully we don't have to give up Caleb Martin. The kid we drafted last year, the kid we drafted this year, they can go. I don't give a fuck. They can go. Lowry is gone. Okay.
Nah.
There's a rumor that Dragic will come back.
Oh, that'd be nice
to solidify the bench. Okay, so there's a rumor that he'll come back. So the pieces are in place for this to happen. Portland just has to stop being petty and let it happen. They don't need to take calls from other teams. It's not going to happen. They just need to give Dame what he wants because Damian has deserved that. He has deserved the right to decide where he wants. I don't give a fuck about a no-trade clause. People are talking about no-trade clause. Very few players have had that, so I don't even want to hear about that. Damian deserves to go where he needs to go. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Heat fan. I'm saying that because this guy, as like Jimmy Butler, gives every fucking ounce of himself to his franchise.
Yep.
They need to take care of him. They need to send him to Miami. This thing shouldn't be prolonged into training camp. They need to do it and be done with it and let Dame be free.
Mm-hmm. Because you didn't do it. You didn't do it while he was there. So now do it that he's shown all this loyalty. Because if y'all really gave a shit about Damian Lillard, you would have done the shit while he was there.
Right. Me and Bryce kind of bashed Dame a little bit this year when he made comments about, ring chasing and stuff. We kind of, I didn't like that comment that he made early in the season. But for him to finally say, I can't do this anymore, get me out of here, which he should have said 5 years ago. I'm so proud of him. And God forbid he comes to Miami because the rest of the NBA is in trouble. Should everybody stay healthy?
I was on the show. I was on the show when we talked about Damian Lillard saying that.
Were you? I couldn't remember. Okay.
Yeah, it was us three talking about it. And where at the time we said it's easy for somebody he going to say it because of everything that's going on. But yeah, I'm proud of him for going, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to sit here and go through another rebuild. He's not young. Right. He's not young. He's on the mid going down to the back end of his career. It's time for Portland to have done something right by him. But now that they haven't, he's making them do something right by him.
Yeah. I swear on everything I love, and I'm taking it personal. If they don't send Damian Lillard to Miami, I swear to God, I will scorch the earth. I will scorch it because you don't disrespect a player of that caliber who's giving you everything and who's been so loyal to you when he didn't have to be. You don't dick a player over like that. And I'll tell you what, other players wouldn't take Portland serious. Like, they would never go to Portland. If they fuck over Dame, oh man.
if they do that shit, you might as well just go ahead and move the Trailblazers to Seattle. Because no one's going to want to play for Portland anymore. So you just might as well take the franchise, move them over to Seattle, and start over. Because no one's going to want to play there because you just disrespected probably one of the most beloved players in their franchise history. Mm-hmm. Just because he asked you for a trade. Him and Clyde are. I still think Clyde was I think Clyde Drexler was underrated. Yeah, I think Clyde was very much underrated. But it's different areas of basketball. It's like when the idiot said who was better, Olajuwon or Patrick Ewing, and some guy said Patrick Ewing, and I said you obviously have never watched basketball.
But they said Patrick was better than Dream? What?
One dude said Patrick Ewing was better than Hakeem Olajuwon, and I literally sent him the gift that said leave. I
Look,
told him, and then I sent him the one thing from what was it, Billy Madison, where the guy goes, "That was by far the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul." Yeah.
if Clyde Drexler, who was the greatest player in the history of that franchise from a longevity standpoint, because Walton just didn't play that long there. If Clyde Drexler could be moved because he asked for a trade, went to Houston, and in his first year won a championship with the Rockets, if they did that for Clyde, even though I know the front office is different now, you need to do the same thing for Dame. You
Exactly.
just have to. You just have to. Because anything else, it's just baffling. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to wrap up.
It is a bad look on that franchise. Like I said, if they don't ship their shit up and move them to Seattle.
Yeah. I'm going to say this. I'm going to wrap it up. Specifically, again, talking about Dame and the Miami Heat. Everyone talks about Heat culture. Everyone laughs about Heat culture. One is real. It's been there for a while. It's real. So people can make all the memes, all the jokes that they want. If there is one player who's not on the Heat right now who personifies what Heat culture is all about, it's Damian Lillard.
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
Could have came to Miami last year and said no. Because he said he don't know how he could deal with Jimmy Butler. Damian Lillard has said he wants to play with Jimmy Butler. He wants to see what Heat culture is all about. A lot of players don't say that because a lot of players are afraid of it. Okay, because Jimmy's tough, Jimmy's a dick, Jimmy's an asshole, but we love him. We do. So for Dame to say, this is what I want, this is where I need to be, this is where I need to learn how to be a champion, it has to happen.
Now, here's the huge thing. People in the basketball, people that play basketball and everything, these guys are soft. They want to be coddled. They want to be told how great they are. When you go to Miami, you're not told how great you are until you prove how great you are. You're good, but you aren't great until you prove that you are great. And if everybody doubts that Heat culture is a thing or whatever, look at how 2 undrafted free agents just got paid coming out of Miami because Miami gave them a chance.
Right.
2 undrafted guys just got paid because of how they played when they came out of that system. So if you don't think that it's real, tell them 2 guys that, and they'll tell you that's completely false because I just got paid coming out of that system. We still got a dude that comes off the bench that's making $90 million that came out of that system.
Stop it.
Don't even get me started on that shit.
Stop it.
But it is real. Like it's a thing. It is a thing. Who gives a shit if half the fucking stadium doesn't show up until after halftime? I don't care. I don't give a shit that the fans don't show up until after halftime. I don't care. I don't care nothing about any of that. If that is your only comeback to stuff about sport, stuff about a championship winning basketball team, I don't care. Because you know what I give a shit about? I give a shit about the thing on the floor. Guess what? When I went to the damn game, I was 45 minutes fucking early and I was at the seat. So y'all can all kiss my ass. I was there. But if that's your only comeback about any basketball thing, and then you want to send out stuff because, we lost in the finals, well, where was your team? Your culture dictates to you. Your culture dictates to you that even trying to make the playoffs is a good thing.
They're efficient.
Our culture is make the goddamn playoffs and then do what you can do while you're in the playoffs. But come on, you come up with some better shit to say to us then we show up. Okay, well, when we go to your stadiums, why do I keep hearing "Let's Go Heat" chants at every fucking stadium we go to?
I heard some of those in Denver too. Actually, I heard some chants in Denver.
Why do I hear it every single place that they go? Because there's a culture. There's a culture of basketball that is respected around the league by players, by front offices, and by everywhere else. That is the Miami culture. And if you don't think it's a thing, ask around the league.
You know, it's crazy.
Guess who will tell you? Milwaukee will tell you it's a thing. Boston will tell you it's a thing. Philly will tell you it's a thing.
Oh, we whoop their ass up.
Orlando will tell you it's a thing, even though they don't want to admit it.
They're the little brothers, though. We love them. They're our little brothers. We love them.
Look here. And I'm going to go on record. Look, I want Orlando to do well. I want Orlando to succeed. The only time I don't want them to do well is when they play us. All the rest of the time, I wish nothing but good things for them. But them little fuckers on Twitter are starting to piss me off.
Joe Ingles is going to bring them a championship.
When you celebrate the signing of Joe Ingles, who is older than I am, for God's sake, or at least he looks older than I am, for God's sake, he is not going to bring you a title. What is going to bring you the title is developing Pablo and freaking developing
Paolo.
Whatever. Developing him, developing Wagner, and getting those two guys to be your centerpieces for years to come, and doing the right things in the off season. But drafting 19 guards to go along with your good guards that you already have, and thinking that Jalen Suggs is going to be your savior is not the way to go.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I did like that pick of Jalen Suggs. I did. I'm not going to lie. I love that pick.
But he's not like they were like, oh, well, he went down with our ankle injury. Our season went to shit. No, your season went to shit before that. You're not there yet, but you will be soon. It's just like I told Cortez. When you drafted Pablo, what you did was you drafted your Trevor Lawrence, because there's so many similarities between the Orlando Magic and the Jaguars. It's crazy. I said, what you did there was you drafted your Trevor Lawrence. Now you have to surround him with the people that are going to make him a superstar and make him look phenomenal, which at times last year, he looked like nobody could stop his butt. Mm-hmm. But you have to bring in people that are going to make him better, and putting all these young guards around him isn't the way to go. They're going to have to pivot at one point or another to bring in some veterans and get away from, because you're already young as it is. You're going to have to bring in veterans, not named Joe Ingles, but you're going to have to bring in some vets that have some star power to it to help him get over that hump. Because you're not going to do it with a young basketball team, because you're going to run into established basketball teams who are going to be able to affect y'all in the head. And that's what it is. When them veteran teams get into the playoffs and stuff, they get into all these other teams' heads. And we've seen it plenty of times. Once they get into your head, it's over. Boston, Milwaukee, we saw it. We saw it. Once it gets in Boston's head, Boston's screwed. Yeah, they won 3 games in a row. But once it got into their head, it was over. Racist bunch of pricks. Oh, sorry.
And Milwaukee never stood a chance in hell.
Nope. When they lost Giannis, they were like, oh shit. And even when he was there, they were like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we don't fear Giannis at all. Yeah, respectfully.
Respectfully.
Giannis.
I love Giannis. Like,
yeah,
I love him. Yes, exactly. It's wide the fuck open.
Yeah,
I love Giannis.
The door is always open.
You ain't gotta. I will quote Bruno Mars. I will leave the door open.
we love you, Giannis.
Exactly.
I know. I got a funny joke because I know you mentioned that you was at the arena 45 minutes early. Well, I was there probably about 15 minutes early. You know, I had a nice young thing with me. You know, I love you, baby. But we had a good time. Even though the Heat lost,
hold on. I was wondering why I didn't get an invite. Now I know.
Yeah, you know, I got me a new little thing. You know me. I move fast. You know me. So
Kevin, I don't move at all. So
tell people where they can find you at.
You can find me on Twitter at KevinC2415. If and when Cortez ever rises like the Undertaker, we might get a podcast going again. I have no clue. We've already skipped half of last year's football season, and now we're about to start another football season. And I don't even know what's going on. We went through basketball. All we did was the finals video. Yeah, so I don't know nothing about that. Until I record again, I won't even say
it. Look, please like, subscribe, and share our content. Comment below. Tell us how much you love us. Tell us how much you hate us. There will be a rebranding coming soon. We're still the Hardwood Nation, of course, but we got some things in the works to give you guys a better experience. So everyone,
yeah, we're gonna be more racist.
And we are out.